globally, how much is the size of the mineral and metal industry? And I will say that Google search gave me a number called 3,500 billion US dollar is the market size. If 3,500 billion US dollar is the market size, and I was very excited to see the number, then somehow the same Google search gave me that 2016 will become about 5,000 US billion dollar. That means within 3 years they are talking about 5,000 US billion dollars. Then I said, let me reflect. When I talk about mineral and metal, let me go a little more in detail of that and try to find out where I stand. Believe me, it was around 2% or 1%. I started calculating company by company the turnovers and started finding out how size we are there. Then I divided my discussion and my thought process into ferrous and non-ferrous. I said, let me divide my discussion on my thought process in ferrous. I said, ferrous, we are very good in iron ore, but we are very weak in coal. And within for ferrous, when we talk about chromium, we don't have, and when we talk about some other metals, we don't have. This discussion of mine went to the next level, that let me compare between India and China. Steel I was doing because I have worked whole of my life in steel only. Then I said, yes, out of 1400 million they talk about 600 plus, and we talk about still 70, and we talk about we will be catching, and so I was talking fourth, and we are talking about fourth, fifth, and sometimes we say we will come to third, and we keep on talking. I think you go a little more in the other metals, I don't think we have a significance. Aluminium, we talk about will grow, but I think China is talking about 10%, 12%. Copper, zinc, lead, then nothing is there. I think the statistics I can present, these numbers are with me between today and 2030. China aggressively is playing a very important role even in non-ferrous as well as ferrous, and they are going to play a prominent role. How they will be able to do? It is not the domestic resources which they are going to exploit. I think they are going to talk about internal resources. And when you talk about internal resources, I will talk about some of my thought process and I will tell you how it has happened. Let me start with the international resource. One of the resource, while working at SAIL, one day somebody told, and it so happened the ambassador of a country called Mangolia happened to be friendly to us. We thought, let's take advantage of this country. There are some rich deposits are there. That's why I call it exploration. I think that first is, before you talk exploration, I think the intelligence work, and I say mineral intelligence. I think the first key word is, do we have a proper mineral intelligence? And where are the deposits? Why it so happened that many people come to know before that, we come to know and the people are aware. So he says, okay. So I was told that you please move to the Mongolia. I was not knowing, believe me, that at particular time, I was not knowing where is Mongolia. I was knowing two things, Mongolia equivalent to Genghis Khan, and Mongolia somewhere, my friend who studied with me in Maastricht School of Management, Netherlands, Narna. Narna is a local Mongolian guy. So I immediately called him and I said, I want to come. It was with the help of ambassador, I went there. There was a prime minister dinner, there was a president dinner, and we sat down and we said, we are interested to participate in your country. By the time we started discussing about the deposit which they were having in the area of ore, iron, as well as coal, deep deserts, very difficult, and I was asked to move to the site without any approval. You know, in public sector it's very difficult. If you don't take foreign exchange with a prior approval, nobody will give you later. But I was asked to move to 1,000 kilometers. My ambassador, local ambassador told, let's move it there and see the deposits. We went there, we found that already Russians, because it's a landlocked country. There was a second thing I came to know, and then I realized that it is not that easy that we can enter in day one when we are not talking about many things in advance. But how other company who already went there, I will not name the Indian company, has gone there, acquired some deposits because they can do fast, and there's a difference between intelligence and action. I will say intelligence is first and action is second. A private, the way he can play the action, a public sector cannot play the action, and that's a difficulty. Subsequent to this deposits, discussions and all that, I think current status of this discussion is, we are still just have signed an MOU, beyond that we are not reached. And by the time many Russians, many Chinese, many private companies are already there in Mongolia, and you can find that these things are happening. I will tell you the domestic sources and how domestic sources cannot be exploited and are difficult. And one of the deposits, let me tell you, many of you may be knowing, we are very rich in titanium deposits. And believe me, the aerospace industry, which I belong now in a metal industry, cannot grow until there is a titanium feedstock. In the total world, 250,000 ton of titanium is produced. Out of this, 125,000 is aerospace grade titanium.